Welcome back to part 2 of flipping bikes. On this episode, I guess you could call it, I decided to pick up a 2006 Husaberg FE450e. These were the actual pictures from the ad that was listed on Facebook Marketplace. Pretty dirty bike. The guy told me he had it in storage for 2 years and had not ridden it. So as you can see, it's pretty rough around the edges. It needed a new battery. Obviously it's going to need an oil change, coolant change, and I'm going to have to take off all these decals. I'm going to have to give it a really good cleaning. Bright points, it does have Brembo brakes on the front and rear. This is what I would consider an exotic bike. You don't see many of these around, but they are nice bikes, come out of the KTM factory. I picked the bike up on February 19th. I took this photo on the way home. I stopped to get gas, and as you can see again, it's pretty rough. Once I got it home, I started taking these videos here. Again, you can kind of see how rough it is. It's caked with mud and dirt. I could probably use a new back tire. The chain looks clean, but again, that battery is I feel like it's pretty much dead at this point because the bike will not start. I am going to hook my charger up to it later, and we'll figure out what's going on there. Coming up, as you can see here, the sides, I need to get rid of all these graphics. The seat has a couple of cuts in it, but we can work around that. And handlebars look good. The ball is missing from the clutch side, not a big deal. And again, you can see it's really dirty here. Need to get rid of these Planet Fitness and GoPro decals he stuck on the front. The wheel looks to be in really good condition. Tires in pretty good condition, just a little low on air. So the next morning I got up and started taking off all of these graphics. You can see they came off pretty well along the sides here. Oh, the gas tank's missing. What could go wrong there? Well, I took the gas tank and put some gas in it, and as I was filling it up, gas started pouring out. So I had to remove the gas tank. We're going to address that later. I'm going to fix that. But as we move around the bike here, you can see I got the GoPro sticker off, the Planet Fitness decal off the front, and the decals off the side came off pretty easily. I still have to hit that front one over the headlight, and then as you can see here, I'm charging the battery. According to my charger, it says that it will take a charge. It's sitting in the green, and I don't know how well you can see that, but it's sitting in the green, so it should be able to take a charge. So we're going to let that charge up overnight. And again, you can see where I've removed decals from the sides and the front fender. Now I just need to make sure I can get this one off right here, which is going to be tough because it's already cracked and flaking. So I was able to remove that decal, and once I got it off, there was some residue left over, but just spraying this section with Goo Gone and then going back and wiping it down really allowed me to get all of this extra residue off, and this section came out much cleaner than even you see it right now. You'll see it again later. What I'm going to do now is take the decals off of these two side pieces. As you can see, this is what it looks like originally, and this is what I'm hoping to get it to look like, just back to the bare yellow. So you're going to take a razor blade and peel this up. This is pretty straightforward. Let me set the camera down. These decals tend to come off pretty easily. If they don't, just apply some heat. Once you apply heat, these graphics tend to come up very easily. So what I'm going to do is just take a razor blade and grab a corner. Once you get that razor blade sunken in pretty good, you can get a good bite on it. with your fingers, then just start pulling. This should come up really easily. Now you see that there's some residue left over right here, and it's pretty easy just to get this off. Again, just take a little bit of Goo Gone and not necessarily a scrub brush or a scour pad, but maybe like a Mr. Clean eraser. Those will take that off very easily. So now we're going to grab this other decal. Again, just slide your razor blade in there, get a good purchase on it, and just start peeling. This should come off very easily as well. So again, there's just a little bit of residue left over, but this is really easy to just wipe off, and I'll show you how to do that here. So what I have here is a microfiber cloth that's been soaked in Goo Gone, and if you just take it and rub it across those areas of residue, you see it just simply wipes away. I'll show you in another section right here. Again, you just take that cloth, apply a little elbow grease, and it will come right off clean. So section right here of blue that was left over, and again, if you just wipe it down, it comes right off. So what I'm actually going to do at this point is take it over to the sink, wash it with some hot water, and try to get off any additional residue left over. And you can see this is what it looks like when I'm done. This is the original panel. And then this is the panel that you watched me work on. You can see it's a little bit wet still from the sink, but once dried, looks really good. So I mentioned before, one of the other major issues with this bike is this gas tank. You can see here there's a crack along the entire side. So what I've already done is emptied out all the gas. I filled it with water. Just wanted to make sure there was no other leaks besides this one, and I'll try to show you the leak here. It's really hard to see. I'm just going to tip this up on its side, and even though it's already wet because it rained, you can still see water kind of pouring out of this crack. So that's what we need to fix. Okay, so you can see here that I really cleaned up this front number plate. It looks really good once I got the decal and the residue off. But I also installed brush guards here along the hand. I could only get them in blue, red, or black. I went ahead and got blue, figured it would pretty much match the bike's blue and yellow theme overall. I would have preferred to have yellow, but I'm good with the blue. So here's the gas tank, and what I've done here is taken a two-part epoxy and put it into place here along this edge. And I went ahead and, well, you can see the two-part epoxy that I have here. And if you look on the second column, fourth bullet point down, you'll see it says repairing gas tanks. So perfect choice for repairing gas tanks. So this is what I'm using. Again, it's a two-part. It makes it 50-50. And just as a precaution, I added it to the left side of the tank as well. Now this epoxy takes 4 hours to set and 24 hours to cure, or vice versa, however that's supposed to work. But I'm going to wait 24 hours and I'm going to do a second coat. From the firearm state of mind where two is one and one is none, and I prefer to do 2 coats. Also installed the battery. Brand new battery, which is extremely difficult to install because you have to actually remove a bolt right there in the back, another bolt right here in the front. You actually have to remove the bolt from the shock and pull the shock back against the frame to then slide the battery out. It's extremely difficult, extremely cumbersome to have to do, but I was able to do that. And next I went ahead and changed the oil. This is the oil drain plug here, and this is an oil screen. It's basically like a little filter you can catch any contaminants in. On the other side is the oil fill, which is here, and then the oil window, so you can actually see the level of the oil that's been installed. So at this point we're going to wait for that tank to cure, which is going to take, like I said, 24 hours, and I'll put that second coat on. And overall it's coming together very nicely. Once I make sure that the tank has no more leaks, I will install my graphics package, and this bike should be ready to run. Alright, so let's take a look at this gas tank. At this point I've gone ahead and filled this tank with water, but at the same time I've gone ahead and added a second coat of the epoxy that I showed you before. As you can see, I've added it here, and we'll go to the other side and you'll see it as well. When you apply this, it goes on white, but it dries clear. So you can see it's very white here. I just applied it at this point, and this tank is filled with water and there are no leaks. I'll show you the petcock here. Nothing coming out. Clean, no leaks, no water coming out. I'll show you the floor right below it. Again, clean, clear, no water is dripping out of this tank. I'll show you the other petcock as well. Clean, clear, no water coming out. So let's take a look inside the tank. I'll take the lid off for you so you can take a look inside. And you can see the water level is well above where the crack was on the right hand side of the tank. So at this point it's been 2 hours since I applied the second coat of epoxy. Again, no water coming out. I'm going to let this sit for a couple of hours. If no leaks are present, I'll go ahead and empty out the water, let this tank dry out for as long as I can, opening both the petcocks and the tank itself, and we will apply gas shortly. Alright, so today is 2/24. I was able to test the water in the gas tank, no leaks whatsoever, so I installed the gas tank. And what you're looking at here is how dirty the bike is. So I'm getting ready to wash it and figured I'd give you a quick walk around. Really happy that the tank has worked out, no leaks whatsoever, and it's full of gas at this point. Just going to give it a quick wash and we'll see what it looks like when we're done. So here it is, the bike is clean. Really worked on the wheels and tires here and trying to get a lot of the grime out of the engine. And again, the front wheel nice and clean. Everything looks a lot better here at this point. I also went ahead and reinstalled the side plastic that covers the gas tank. As you can see here, everything looks really good. Chain's clean, swing arm's clean, shock is clean. The engine is much cleaner than it was before, and those side pieces along the gas tank make the bike really look much better. So what I've decided to do next is a couple of quick dress up items. I purchased these spoke covers from Amazon, and the next thing I did was looked at graphics. Graphics are very hard to find for this bike. I did find some from overseas, had to order them from Austria. They arrived in about a week, which is pretty good considering. They were delivered via DHL. Most of these fit. There's only one that I had to make some alterations to, but this is the finished product. So this is what the bike looks like now. As of today, I'm going to go ahead and list this bike on Facebook and Craigslist and see what I can get for it. Now, if you remember, I purchased the bike for $1,100. I'm going to list the bike for $2,250 and see what kind of offers I get. At the end of the video, you'll see a breakdown of my costs, what the bike sold for, and total profit. So wish me luck. Let's see how it goes. Sold. So I sold the bike today. Today is 2/28. Sold the bike this evening for $1,900. I actually had 4 buyers lined up to purchase this bike between today and tomorrow. Ended up selling to the first guy that showed up today for $1,900. Maybe could have gotten a little more, but I was happy with the $1,900 that I got today. The bike is gone. So easy to flip. Didn't take me very long. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. Please like and subscribe. If there's something about the video you didn't like, please click the dislike button and let me know in the comments what I can do better. Thanks.